Hello, I'm Gideon Hodge, and this is Beer Country.
That's that table drawer.
Slate, please.
Gideon, stop snoring.
Right here?
Here we are with Michael Knockian, the brewmaster for 40 Arpent. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And what is the beer we're trying out here today?
Today we have our new Basin Stout, but we have a little specialty keg, so it's a little twist of it. What we've done is we've taken some sassafras and some vanilla bean and added it to the beer.
All right.
Sassafras.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest.
It's fun to say.
I know.
Sounds sassy. I gotta be honest, I am a longtime fan of the milk stout here from 40 Arpent. And y'all do something different. You do a different release of it every year, right?
Well, what we generally try to do is oftentimes we make specialty kegs of it for different events. So we've actually done a number of things to this beer. We've had a Bananas Foster, which, yeah, exactly. So
when's that coming back?
Well, actually, tomorrow evening? No, unfortunately tonight at the Pelican House in Baton Rouge. It'll be there.
You're ripping my heart out.
I know.
So as soon as we're done here, pack up the gear. We gotta roll it back to Baton Rouge, all right?
Yes, absolutely. And then, we've done a couple other things. One of the things we did for our Christmas bash that we throw every year is, you know those little orange chocolate things that you get for Christmas?
I love those.
I know. So what we did is we made essentially that kind of candy, but out of the beer. And I tell you what, we had I think 8 beers that night, and of the 8 beers, 5 of them were specialties, and it was the first one we got. I mean,
I'm so sad I missed that.
I know.
And the one you did last year at the Bayou Beer Fest, that had a chili
so that was
pepper?
a Thai chili pepper.
Okay.
Yeah, and once again, kind of a similar situation. Now, we were out there with a bunch of other breweries, but our Firkin was the first to tap. I mean, people tried it, and instantly they were just like, I've never had anything like this. And it was a late belated heat, if you will.
Yeah.
So, belated, I'm not sure if that's a word, but...
we'll use it.
Yeah.
Delayed it.
Exactly. So it had it kind of snuck up on you, but it was definitely a crowd pleaser. So
Excellent.
Anything with orange and chocolate, I'm there.
you're there.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, our Cafe Below, that's something you need to try.
That's great.
No.
All right.
But it's same thing. So here, what we have is we have a little orange zest, a little lemon zest. We've put in a little bit of brandy in there. Yeah, no,
Is this one right here?
Oh no, not this
that's
one.
the okay.
Yeah, that's a Cafe Berlot one. So
I thought, I like the things you're telling me.
make me blush. It's hot in here.
All right. What would be some of the foods that you would pair this with potentially, or desserts?
Typically, think about it as the style of beer first. It's an Irish beer. It's an Irish stout. So, we're going to pair this thing with most meat proteins such as beef, lamb. You can do chickens, but even if you want to pair this with a chicken, it's going to be something that's going to be a chicken stew, something with a roux, a dark base to it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it with a lighter effervescence, like you're going to do like a lemon chicken or something. You wouldn't necessarily go with the dark. Now, if you want to go past the entrees and you want to get into desserts, then I mean anything with chocolate. You could pair this any type of chocolate dessert that you're going to make. You can pair a stout dark beer with that. So I would probably stay along the lines of your heavier proteins, lamb, cow, and then get into your
Pork. Must have pork.
I tell you what, you definitely could pair this with pork, especially if you're going to do something smoked.
Like a tenderloin?
Oh yeah, if it's going to be
Or
like
savory
a smoked butt or something like that.
I almost think they should just do like a selection pack of all the different stouts that they've done. Just do like a.
Okay, well I'm sold, so I'm gonna try this now.
Well, you know, we have a bottling machine now, so doing something like that is a little more feasible than, you know, having to make this into kegs.
Oh, this is delicious.
It is kind of chocolatey. And I must admit,
No,
I'm
this
not
is-
a big fan of stouts usually, but
Now, this
this is tolerable.
is the vanilla and the sassafras, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there chocolate in this one?
Well, there's chocolate malt in the beer, so
Okay.
a lot of times what will happen is, especially in this beer, because we have the vanilla bean, vanilla tends to bring out the chocolate a little bit more, because typically the actual beer itself is more of a roast flavor to it. But you start to add these different ingredients, even the sassafras, especially the sassafras, I would think that would bring out the chocolate.
Like we said, it's just fun to say.
Yeah, it gives you that little bit of effervescence
Yes.
at the end of it. Love it.
And I like it because it's smooth on the palate too. It doesn't have like a very
It's not a
hard
harsh
bite after
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Which was, you know, fundamentally one of the things that we looked for when we went to brew our stout, which is, I think it's 100 degrees down here, you know, and I'm a dark beer drinker, and I want to drink dark beer year round, but I don't necessarily want to drink heavy dark beer year round.
And sweat profusely while we're drinking it.
Exactly. So for us, you know, being down south in Louisiana, we wanted kind of a lighter bodied stout than
Okay.
what you would find typically. And I think, you know, we hit with a real winner here. It's definitely one of the more popular, if not the more popular dark beer
Oh, yeah.
in New Orleans,
You
right?
got my vote, honey.
What's the name of this one again?
This is the New Basin Milk Stout,
Okay.
and this one has a sassafras.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Arpent 40 and how they got started?
Yeah, so 40 Arpent Brewing Company is in Araby, Louisiana,
All right.
and we're located right on the river. So basically, you're going to go through the 9th Ward of New Orleans, you're going to pass over the Industrial Canal, get to Jackson Barracks. We're literally 3 blocks away from the barracks, right on the river. Excellent view, probably the most incredible sunset in New Orleans that you've ever seen. So I definitely highly recommend coming out. We do the tours every Friday from 5 to 7. We're about to start construction on our tap room, which we are perceiving to be done at the end of December, early January. So we're really looking forward to that, at which point we'll be open at least 4 to 5 days a week, probably about 3 to 10. So.
All right, that sounds fantastic. And kind of how did 40 Arpent get started?
Well, it's interesting you ask. So a lot of people, their first question is, well, what does that mean? What does 40 Arpent mean? And so I grew up on a 40 Arpent canal, and I hunted, fished, and basically boarded my junior high and high school life on the canal.
What does that mean? What is a 40 Arpent canal?
So basically, an arpent is a French land measurement,
Okay.
and it's a linear measurement that the French use to divide property. So
Huh.
the English use the acre, and
Okay.
the French use the arpent.
Got it.
And if you got a land grant, generally around Louis XIV, if you got a land grant from a
Son
French
King.
king, you would get 6 arpents wide by 40 arpents deep. And if you were in the court, but maybe an unfavored subject, you got some low land, and chances are what you did to make that land formable is you dug a canal to drain the property.
Into somebody else's property?
Yeah, literally. All the property owners together would generally come together and continue the ditch, if you would,
Okay.
which became a canal eventually. So if you own property next door, yeah, you would most likely go in there and continue the drainage canal on to eventually it reach most everyone's property, and they would stretch for a couple miles. And generally they're found off of natural tributaries, so Mississippi River, Bayou Teche, the Atchafalaya, which it is pronounced Atchafalaya, not Atchafalaya.
This is true.
Atchafalaya, Bayou Lafourche as well. So there are multiple 40 Arpent canals as well as 40 Arpent roads that kind of dot South Louisiana.
Huh.
You know, the thing I really like about the logo and the branding that you guys have done is that it kind of gives it more of a local feel, and it really is sort of centered around like the Louisiana culture that has kind of been breeding a lot more entrepreneurs and breweries and stuff like that.
Absolutely. You know, I have to give credit to Tilt Designs, who is the company that helped design our logo.
Okay.
I have to say, Scott Hodgins and I, we sat down, and you know, Scott is amazing. I mean, his ability to sketch something in front of you is just unreal.
Okay.
And you know, we sat down and just, you know, had a meeting and talked about the feel and the look that we were trying to go for. And I mean, literally within a week, he called me back. He had probably 20 different logos to choose from. And from that, we kind of settled on what we felt was an identity for us. So 40 Arpent Brewing Company now has been open for about 1 year and 6 months, so not very long, but definitely long enough that we are beginning to have quite a reputation in the state of Louisiana.
Okay. And a well-earned reputation. I mean, you guys make delicious beers, I gotta say.
And as someone that does not regularly drink stout, I will be purchasing this in the near future.
Oh, I definitely appreciate it. You can find our New Basin Stout in 22-ounce bottles around New Orleans and Baton Rouge and North Shore area. So.
You shouldn't have told me that. That's gonna be a staple
So
at the house
where
now.
else could you find your brand?
So we're basically throughout many bars in the New Orleans and Baton Rouge area.
Okay.
A couple restaurants as well, but mainly on draft and in the 22-ounce bottle. And right now it's just the stout in 22-ounce bottle. Into November we'll release our IPA into 22-ounce bottles as well.
What IPA is that?
So it'll be a duckweed. So it's actually duckweed LPA, which is our Louisiana Pale Ale.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a twist on your typical IPA because it's first off a session. So it's only about 5% alcohol.
Okay.
It's not like a double IPA where you're getting in those 7-8%
Yeah.
alcohol ranges. And also it's kind of low in the IBU. So it's above what most people would consider to be a pale ale, which is about above 40 IBUs.
Okay.
Incidentally. And where we're at is sitting about 60 IBUs, which is an international bittering unit.
Okay.
So we're about 63 IBUs, and we have a good maltiness with a nice, clean, fruity finish, if you will.
Duckweed, I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing. It's Louisiana Pale Ale. It's a little bit crisper than you would find. West Coast IPAs. A lot of people identify as juicy, very fruity. East Coast IPAs generally a little more resiny, a little piney, if you will. So what we've done is we've actually kind of hidden those notes from both ends, but with kind of a dry, crisper finish.
Mike, thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, absolutely.
Cheers. Another great success on your line of stouts.
Well done, sir.